Hi everyone, welcome to Little Wicket Railway. I'm Rob and in this video we're taking a look at the Bachmann Class 70. This model was released by Bachmann in the yellow, orange and black colour scheme of Colas rail freight only a couple of years ago in 2023, but I believe the tooling dates back to around 2011, not long after the Class 70s were first introduced. And it's not that often I get to take a look at models from this era. Most of my models are either Big Four or British Railways, so I'm quite excited to open it up and see what it looks like. Being Bachmann, I'm expecting top-notch quality, and as a bonus, it's sound fitted from the factory. This one's pre-owned, but you can still find them new out there, and the cheapest price I could find for the sound-fitted version was just under £300, so for that price, I'm definitely expecting quality. For reference, the non-sound-fitted version I could find were around £225, which means that the factory-fitted sound adds about £75, and that's pretty reasonable, given that I believe it's got a decent quality decoder in it. Right, I'm going to get this unboxed and take some photos, and whilst I do that, here's some history on the Class 70. The Class 70 is a distinctive class of heavy freight locomotives built by General Electric in the US for use in the UK. First introduced in 2009, these locos were brought in by Freightliner to haul long, heavy intermodal trains with improved fuel efficiency and lower emissions. Their unusual cab design, often likened to a bulldog or a brick, quickly made them stand out on the network. A total of 37 units were produced in 2 batches, with the second order going to Colas Rail in 2013. These locomotives are powered by a GE Powerhaul engine, producing 3,690 horsepower, making them well suited to demanding freight work and one of the most powerful diesel locomotives currently operating on the UK network. The locomotive we're reviewing, number 70811, is part of that Colas batch delivered in 2014, and it's been seen hauling everything from infrastructure trains to timber and nuclear flasks. Though divisive in looks, the Class 70 has earned a solid place in the UK's modern freight scene. Before we get back to the model, here's a quick word from this video's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Model Rail Inventory. Catalogue your model railway collection by easily adding items from a comprehensive product database and personalise each entry with photos, manuals and receipts. There are frequent new features with no app to install. Having your inventory in your pocket means you won't be buying duplicate items anymore. And knowing your collection's worth can help you get the appropriate insurance cover. Sign up today for a free trial, then use code LittleWicketRailway for 50% off your first year's subscription. Now back to the model. And here she is. I don't think I've seen a more eye-catching loco. The livery is spectacular and the colours are even more vivid out of the box. I'm still not sure that I actually like it, but I can't deny that it's visually striking. And it looks to me like a good representation of the photos that I've seen from my research. The lines between paintwork appear crisp, and we've got the orange band that runs around the top of the loco, which can't have been particularly easy to print given the shape of the bodywork, which moves in and out along the length of the model. It's absolutely covered with printed warning signs, and I don't think I've ever seen as many. This must be the most dangerous loco in the world. There's well over 60 warnings of various designs printed all over the model. The precision required to get all these in the right place and straight is incredible. Amongst the warnings, we've also got the Colas Rail logo and running numbers on either side of the cabs. In terms of detail, there are plenty of metal railings attached to the body. They're nice and fine but feel very robust, and the paintwork on them looks good. The moulded detail is nice and reflects the complex design of the Class 70 with lots of grills and hatches. My first minor criticism of the model is that where there are grills, it would have been nice if Bachmann could have found a way to add a little bit more depth, which is how they appear in the photos, but that really is just a small observation. On top, we've got 2 fans which are visible through the grills. I believe these are static rather than motorised, but I don't think that's an issue because they're black and it's not obvious that they're not spinning. The cabs are really interesting because of the shape of them being wider than the rest of the locomotive. Externally, they look really good, the glazing is nice, it's raised and recessed where it needs to be. The lining around the windows also matches the images of the real thing. The windscreen has a pair of windscreen wipers, and I particularly like the mesh effect they've achieved either side of the central headlight. Inside there are moulded controls and the fan end even has a pre-fitted driver, which is a nice touch,
But the cab detail really is lacking compared to models that I've seen that have been tooled more recently. For the price, I'd have expected the cab to be decorated and some of the controls to have been painted or even illuminated. Speaking of illumination, both cabs have lighting, but this only serves to further highlight the lack of detail. The model also has headlights, marker lights and tail lights. These change depending on the direction the loco is travelling, and they can be turned off completely using function 0 on a DCC controller. They can also be controlled manually using 3 switches under the loco. The cab lights and rear tail lights have their own on-off switches, but we can also switch between day and night mode using the switch confusingly marked front. This changes the configuration of the headlights and the marker lights. And we'll take a look at the lighting later when we get it down on the layout. Again, a small criticism of the model here. I appreciate that these physical switches are useful for DC users, but switching between day and night mode and turning tail lights on and off should really be controllable using DCC functions. Sticking with the loco ends, we've got buffers which are sprung, and at one end we've got a plough fitted with no coupling, and at the other end we've got a plough fitted that has a slot in it to allow for a NEM pocket which has been fitted with a tension lock coupling. In the accessories bag, we've got another complete plough and a plough with a slot, which allows you to configure the couplings however you'd like. Plus, we've got some detailing parts such as hooks and pipe work, and the documentation includes instructions on how to do that. In terms of documentation included, along with the sheet giving information about maintenance, decoder installation and accessory part fitting, we've also got the DCC sound function list and some warranty info. For reference, the model takes a 21-pin decoder and is fitted with a Zimo MS440C decoder powering a single 8-ohm speaker. There's a brief history on the Class 70 on the back of the box, but there's nothing inside, no glossy manual or anything like that. And thanks to Acura Scale and Rapido, that's the type of thing I now expect with these premium models. I'm not going to open the model up, but in terms of mechanism, we've got a 5-pole motor with dual flywheel driving all 6 sets of wheels, so that should be a lot of power, just like the real thing. Each wheel has its own wiper pickup, so electrically this model should be pretty sound. Weight-wise, the model came in under 500 grams, which, while still quite heavy, is a bit lower than other models of a similar size. So that's a look at the model. Let's get it on track and see how it runs. And here we are on the tracks. Before we get it going, let's take a quick look at the lighting features. We've got the headlights in day mode here, all nice and bright. Now let's switch directions on the controller to activate the tail lights. To show you the night mode setting, I have to pick the loco up and flick the switch labelled front, which isn't a 2-second job because the switches are so fiddly, but here we are. You can see one headlight is off and one marker light has come on. And here are the cab lights, and I love that it even plays a little light switch sound when they're activated. I've fired up the engine sounds now and you can hear it's pretty good, maybe not as bassy as some models, but the volume's fine and so is the quality of the sound file. And as you've seen from the function list, there's loads of sounds for couplings, pumps, valves, compressors and fans, as well as announcements and station noises, so you can create a very realistic soundscape from this model. As you can see, I'm putting it to the test straight away with a slow crawl through the points crossover. The model's got lovely slow speed control and will actually go slower than this, but we don't have all day. And as you can see, it's not struggling at all with the point work, which is to be expected given that it's got 6 pickups on each side and such a long wheelbase. I'm turning the model up to about 40% power here, and as you can see, it pulls away nice and smoothly, the 5-pole motor doing its job, and the sounds of the engine increase. I built the retaining wall on this layout very close to the 3rd radius curve, and given the length of the model, it only just clears it. It is a very long model, so that might be something to keep in mind if you've got tight curves or objects close to the line. It will overhang at the ends and in the middle. We're running light loco today because I don't really have any suitable rolling stock to go behind a loco from this era. During the running session, I had 0 derailments and 0 stalls. These days, stay-alives are becoming standard in premium models. This one doesn't have one, but it doesn't really need it. It's super reliable. So, final thoughts on this loco. I think the livery and the Class 70 in general are a bit Marmite. You either love the unusual shape and bold colours, or you don't. Personally, in the looks department, I don't think it's for me, but that's just my personal preference. I can still appreciate that it's a very nice model. It will certainly stand out in your railway, and being Bachmann, the build quality is extremely good, plus the performance of the model is excellent. It's a lovely smooth runner and the mechanism seems to work well. It's not come off the track or stalled, so everything you'd expect from a premium loco. However, For close to £300 for the sound fitted version, there are some minor areas that are lacking. I would have liked more cab detail, especially given that the large windscreen and cab lighting make it visible even from a distance. I would have preferred more control of lighting from the decoder rather than switches, and for that price it might not be unreasonable to expect some form of Say Alive, a higher quality speaker and potentially working fans, but those would just be cherries on top and really they're things this model can live without. But overall, an extremely nice model. Huge thanks to Model Rail Inventory for supporting the channel by sponsoring this video. Please go check them out and don't forget to use discount code Little Wicket Railway. If you found this video interesting, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Special thanks to all the YouTube members and patrons for your support. It's very much appreciated and your names are up on screen now. That's about it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll hopefully see you again soon.